So today I thought it would be fun to look at some things that are shockingly legal in Ireland that aren't legal in parts of America or the United States. It's stuff that's legal in Ireland that's going to completely shock you that you can do there. Evil, demonic things, not really. Before I get into the video, do stop, collaborate and listen. Rate us back with the brand new collaboration. I'm gonna stop rapping now. Have you taken down the demon lord yet? Well now, you can. It's time to get your life in order because it's time to raid. Raid is our fave RPG where you can explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on the raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles and PvP arena matches. One of my favorite things to do is summoning champions in the portal and leveling them up. I don't know why. I think maybe it appeals to my organization skills over my fighting skills. And here's a fun Z Ninja's available right now for free. Everyone can get him, but he's only going to be available until October the 15th. And once that day comes, you'll never be able to get Ninja again, so you really want to start playing soon. Raid summer plans are just starting to heat up and there's some giant updates coming very, very soon. All you need to do is click on the link in the description or click on this QR code. We got all fancy. I got a QR code. New players will get an epic Chonaroo, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and the 1 ancient shard. You'll find your extra rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days. Just click on the link in the description or the QR code and I'll see you in the game. Thank you, Raid, for supporting this channel. Okay, the first thing that might surprise you that is legal in Ireland is it's legal for a 5-year-old to walk in and get a tattoo in a tattoo shop. Well, technically, there are some caveats, and that's going to be a big feature of this list.
Warning! Warning!
So surprisingly, in Ireland, there is no legal minimum age to get a tattoo or body modification / piercing. However, giving somebody under the age of 17 years a body modification, a piercing or a tattoo can be considered an act of sexual aggression because that person is a minor. Not a minor, a minor. This is because you have skin on skin contact. What about gloves, you say? I don't think they actually matter. So if you want to get a body modification, piercing or tattoo under the age of 17 years, you're going to need to get your parental consent, and that's always a little tough. Also, just a thought, some of the things that I might have got tattooed on my body under the age of 17 mightn't have been the best ideas. For example, a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer tattoo might have looked cool back in the day, but now it's just, no, it's kind of still cool, to be honest. I'm not getting a tattoo though. So my point is, you might just want to think twice about whatever you want to get done, because honestly I get sick of jumpers like after a month. So, you know, something on your body permanently, at least make sure your adult brain has grown in. The next thing you are allowed to do in Ireland is drink underage. Yes, it is common fact that the age of 18 years of age is the legal drinking age in Ireland. However, you can drink in the privacy of your own home from the age of 5. That's right, with parental consent or that of a guardian, you can drink on private property from the age of 5, although it's definitely not encouraged by all the alcohol bodies. I forget the name, but like the alcohol people who are in charge of alcohol. You can even have a pint in the pub from the age of 15 if you're under the supervision of a guardian or parent and a substantial meal is involved. Now, this has led to some tricky territory in Ireland because it means that from the age of 13 to 17, a lot of people have house parties, and technically they're not illegal because they are under the supervision of a guardian in some cases.
I got busted for underage drinking.
But yeah, when Steven says he's going around to play Xbox with his mate, just make sure you know what he's doing. The next thing that is legal in Ireland, and actually this one's very interesting considering Ireland's weird history with the pill. The oral contraceptive. Contraceptives in general. As you know, I've talked about contraception before here on this channel, and contraception was very taboo in Ireland for a number of years. It might surprise you then that it is in fact legal for GPs to offer the pill to a minor even without the supervision of a parent or guardian. America is actually divided on this one. About 50% of American states allow it under special circumstances and 50% do not. Also in America, you have to get a pregnancy test before you can be prescribed the pill. Not so in Ireland. In Ireland, you will never be given a pregnancy test by a GP for the pill, but you will be given it if you're put on special acne medication. A recent survey in Ireland, however, found that 83% of GPs were looking for more guidelines to do with prescribing the pill to underage people as it made them uncomfortable. They expressed concern in having to make a decision on whether they felt that an under 16 is mature enough to take on the consequences of being given the pill or not. They felt ill-equipped to do so. In fact, only 22% of Irish GPs voted in favour of this staying as the status quo. So basically, they just want more rules and guidelines as to who they're allowed to prescribe it to and when. The next thing that might surprise you about Ireland is that nudity is technically legal in Ireland, all around. That's not to say you should go around taking your clothes off, you definitely shouldn't. The Nudity Association of Ireland, did you know that even existed? I didn't. Apparently, they've existed since 1963, and they discovered the fact that actually nudity is 100% legal in Ireland, provided you are not trying to perform an act of sexual activity and there is no intention on your part to intimidate or shock anyone.
I am shocked and delighted.
Nudity is in fact tolerated in parts of Ireland, specific beaches and on private property. However, the tricky part comes in when it comes to a person being able to report you if they deem themselves to have been shocked or offended by what you were doing. You can go to discreet places, specific parts of beach on the QT or your back garden, but if somebody rings the police and they says that they are shocked or offended by your behaviour, well, you're in trouble, so take that with a pinch of salt. Ireland is definitely not as open to nudity as other European countries. Next up, you've probably heard about Ireland giving people Guinness pints after donating blood. Up until 2009, nurses and doctors were very insistent that you drink your pint after giving blood. Now, while I wasn't donating blood at this time, I knew that doctors and nurses were very insistent you could not leave the premises without eating a Mars bar, a cupcake, or drinking a fizzy drink with loads of sugar in it. Gosh, that was really tough. I struggled with eating so much sugar. And before 2009, yes, Guinness was pushed on people because of its high iron properties. Basically, when you give blood, you lose iron, you're susceptible to fainting, and Guinness is really, really good at getting all those nutrients back in your blood system. However, after the blood alcohol limit was lowered and it became common knowledge that drink driving is not a good thing, they discouraged this use and eventually abolished Guinness on the property of blood donation. A sad day for all of Ireland, I must say. The next thing that is legal in Ireland is interesting in contrast to what is not legal in Ireland. So let me tell you what's not legal in Ireland. And a lot of people have asked me about this one. What can a woman carry around to protect herself from predators? Why do I think of lions and tigers and bears when I say predators? I don't know. Oh my. So you cannot carry mace or pepper spray or obviously any kind of weapon on your person because it is considered something that you are able to attack a person with, an act of aggression. And that's illegal in Ireland. However, a loophole to this is carrying a carving knife. Yes, you can carry a carving knife on your person in Ireland, provided you were going to use that carving knife for your apple that you also have in your bag. Yep, if you can provide proof that you have a carving knife in your bag for the purposes other than stabbing somebody, and it just happened to be in your person when you stabbed somebody, that's legal and allowed. It doesn't have to be an apple. I just picked an apple because it's the only fruit I can tolerate. The next thing that might surprise you as something that is illegal in Ireland is unaliving yourself. Yes, one of those words we have to tiptoe around here on YouTube. You're not allowed to say it, but you all hopefully get what I mean. Until 1964, attempting to unalive yourself or unaliving yourself was actually punishable by public hanging. Oh, the irony. It was technically in effect that it was illegal to unalive yourself until 1996, but the practice of public hanging was done away with. What it did have ramifications on, however, was your family and the consequences to their lives after your unaliveness. Though the person who unalived themselves was technically beyond the reach of the law, the family were not, and they were not allowed to inherit their land or their property after the fact. The person was also not allowed to technically be buried on any religious ground or consecrated ground, and they had to be buried between 9 and midnight in the evening. Of course, thankfully these laws were done away with and things are a lot more respectful now. And onto another word I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. Let's just say it rhymes with Bluthenwasia. Bluthenwasia. Another act of unaliving yourself, but more for medical reasons. So this one technically has not come into place just yet in Ireland, but it is very much on the cusp of doing so. In Ireland, a bill for dying with dignity was proposed in September of last year and is looking to be likely to come to pass. In 2020, Spain became the 4th country in the EU to allow death with dignity. Portugal, however, on the flip side, rejected the bill as they said it went against the constitutional rights of the civilians. It is currently legal in Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Spain. There are some very strict technical requirements, however. A person must be fully aware and conscious and must sign 2 sets of documents to attest to the fact that that is their wishes and their wishes alone. The bill states that blúthnawasia is legal in cases of serious and incurable or debilitating diseases in order to end the life of the person suffering. Ireland's Dáil is looking very seriously at this bill and it looks likely to pass, but obviously with all the things going on in the world right now, it's been kind of held up. A lot of stuff's going on right now.
The end is nigh.
The next thing that's illegal to do in Ireland is leave a child at home alone. Yeah, this one definitely has a caveat with it, because while it is legal, it is not technically okay. Irish law does not specify a legal age when you can leave your child home alone. This is in massive contrast to America, in which different states have different certain ages. Illinois law says a child is required to be 14 years of age, Maryland a minimum of 8 years of age, and Oregon says 10 years of age. Other states have different age limits. Ireland does not specify an age. However, a parent or guardian may be prosecuted if it is deemed that the child was left home alone and may have been a harm to themselves or others, which basically means any child left home alone. It is an offence to leave a child at home alone in Ireland if it places any risk on them or other people. So technically you could leave them home alone in a room of cotton wool, wrapped up in cotton wool, but then they might swallow the cotton wool, so I can't think of a way that this would be legal. The ISPCC, that's the Irish Society of Protection for Cruelty Against Children, says that they want clearer guidelines on this subject. They recommend that a child under 12 years of age should never be left home alone. A child under 16 years of age should never be left home alone at night, and a child should not be left to babysit under the age of 16 years of age. Parents and carers can be subject to prosecution if it is deemed that their child was at risk by being left home alone. So there you have it, some things that are perfectly legal in Ireland but are taboo in the rest of the world. Let me know if anything on this list shocked you and if anything didn't in fact shock you. That's it for today, see you on the other side, bye. There are small Spanish children outside my balcony. I'm going to go use my apple carving knife on them. Whoops, it fell. I am having some trouble speaking today.